Okay, let's bring in host of Left Coast News, Ethan Behrman, and senior writer at the Heritage Foundation, Kelsey Bolar. Great to have both of you with us tonight.
Good evening.
Thanks,
Okay, so Kelsey, I'll start with you. I mean, what do you make of this? I mean, clearly the bad blood goes back several decades here because the Ken Starr report investigating the Clintons. We talked about this before. Then young attorney Brett Kavanaugh was one of the investigators, and he did spend years trying to get to the bottom of exactly what happened, including with Vince Foster.
Right, and of course that ultimately led to the revealing of the scandal with Monica Lewinsky. So clearly there is some bad blood between the two. But I thought this remark was extremely revealing, and I'm astonished that a former president would admit in front of the public that he supports using our justice system for political payback. And of course we can all remember back to the Kavanaugh hearings when Brett Kavanaugh suggested that what he was dealing with was in fact revenge for his investigations into the Clintons, and the media and Democrats had a meltdown over that suggestion. And then now when Bill Clinton says this publicly, that yes, he did deserve this, everyone's silent, nobody cares, Democrats suddenly want to move on.
Okay, Ethan, I want to read you something from the Washington Examiner. Quinn Hillier wrote this. He happened to be a reporter at the time covering the whole Starr report. And he says that Kavanaugh privately walked him through the findings, him and several other reporters at the time. It says this: his eventual report, a model of fairness and thoroughness, shot down all legitimate doubts and even quieted some of the crackpots. Clinton is wrongly blaming the one man who, more than any other, definitively concluded that Foster's death was indeed a suicide rather than a Clinton-inspired hit job. Clinton should have spent 20 years thanking Kavanaugh, not seeking revenge against him. Ethan?
Well, I couldn't disagree with Quinn more in this case, because it was under Brett Kavanaugh's guidance that they dug up this grand conspiracy theory of Vince Foster, which continues to run circles out on the internet. That's a ridiculous conclusion to have put the Clinton family through that. Those were personal attacks. Furthermore, then attorney Kavanaugh specifically had asked Ken Starr to ask explicit sexual questions of President Clinton under oath. That was an actual push by Brett Kavanaugh, then now, of course, Justice Kavanaugh. So clearly there's some bad blood there. Now, I think there's a little overblowing of the fact that it was revenge. It wasn't. I don't agree with President Clinton's choice of words there. However, you also reap what you sow. And in this case, hey, people found things in Brett Kavanaugh's past that came up during his confirmation hearings. That's what happens. If there's something to uncover, it will be brought up, and he still is confirmed is on the Supreme Court now.
Yeah, and Kelsey, you know that there are others out there like Juanita Broaddrick, who has made rape claims against President Clinton and says no one ever investigated her claims. She's still waiting on that.
Right, and nobody deserves to face any sort of unsubstantiated attacks, let alone allegations of sexual misconduct. And that's what this comes down to, that it appears in this remark that Bill Clinton was legitimizing the smear campaign that Brett Kavanaugh and his family had to go through simply because he wanted some sort of political revenge.
10 seconds, Ethan, then we got to go.
Well, Dr. Christine Blasey Ford would not call it a smear campaign. That was genuine testimony on her part. It just wasn't enough to stop now Justice Kavanaugh.
All right, Ethan and Kelsey, thank you both. I feel like we could talk about a lot more in this segment and go much longer, but we're out of time. Thank you.